We have breaking news across the NFL, ladies and gentlemen. The Pittsburgh Steelers have signed TJ Watt to a massive new deal, making him the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL. Y'all know we talk about it, break it all down right after this.
Welcome to your number one spot for all NFL news and content, NFL Central.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back into another episode of NFL Central, your number one spot for everything NFL. I'm your host here, Bobby. And if you're tuned in and locked in and love talking football, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. But per Adam Schefter, the Pittsburgh Steelers have signed an extended pass rusher, TJ Watt. You can put him at the 1, you can put him at the 2, but it ain't too many guys better than TJ Watt in this NFL. TJ Watt gets extended on a 3-year, $123 million contract with $108 million guaranteed, making $41 million per year. Crazy work. And considering how good my man's TJ Watt is, it's crazy work. And you definitely don't have to question anything when it comes to TJ Watt and his performance for the Pittsburgh Steelers during his entire tenure there. In fact, over the last 5 seasons, nobody has more sacks than TJ Watt, which is crazy work. We talking about seasons to where he went out there and put up 13 sacks. In 2019, 14 and a half. In 2020, 15. In 2021, 22 and a half sacks. Little drop off, major drop off in 2022 with just 5.5 sacks, but got right back on course in 2023 with 19 sacks. In 2024 with 11.5 sacks. It is just crazy work considering, but it is a job well done by the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's kind of looking like these guys are starting to get their ish together around this mud, because at one point, I couldn't believe what the Pittsburgh Steelers was absolutely doing as an organization. First waiting on Aaron Rodgers and completely botching their whole QB situation, and then finally getting Aaron Rodgers in the building. You had TJ Watt said, I ain't coming to do nothing unless I get my money on. I seen the Cleveland Browns go out there and pay Myles Garrett that money. I want my money too. And then it's crazy because TJ Watt is a very, very important part of what the Pittsburgh Steelers are trying to do with their organization. And man, you just got to love it. What's crazy is that the Pittsburgh Steelers with TJ Watt is 79-44-2. When TJ Watt does not play for the Pittsburgh Steelers, their record is 1-11. That is crazy. When TJ Watt does not play a game, the Pittsburgh Steelers are 1-11. That is crazy work. And they're absolutely going to need him on the field this upcoming season, especially with the Baltimore Ravens being at the top of the league as one of the best teams around there. You definitely got high expectations with this Pittsburgh Steelers team, at least within that organization. Me personally, I'm not a full-on believer just right now to believe that they can go out there and win multiple playoff games and get to that Super Bowl, knowing that as an organization right now, the quarterback that you pick up pretty much said, this is pretty much my last year and I'm out of here. So they signed Aaron Rodgers to that 1-year deal. You got a bunch of other vets around on this team that you're going to have to go out there and show them that you really, really want an opportunity to go and compete for a championship in the NFL this upcoming season. Guys like Cam Hayward, he tired of sitting around. And I know you ain't pick up Darius Slay for no reason. You didn't trade for Jalen Ramsey for no reason. You got veterans in your wide receiver room like a DK Metcalf who wants to play for a championship. Then you got Calvin Austin and Robert Woods out there with a couple young guys out there that's anxious to play some playoff football in Pittsburgh. They are already in a tough division. So you're going to have to go out there and have somebody to go out there and work with. And what better way to go out there and allow these guys, TJ Watt, an opportunity to really have a real shot at a Super Bowl or at least playoff competition to give themselves a chance. Because all you need to do in the NFL, and we've seen it plenty of times before, all you need to do is get some good momentum going into that playoffs. And it's sudden death. This ain't no 7-game series like other leagues. It's sudden death. And in that playoff game, you need a pass rusher like TJ Watt out there to help you secure playoff wins, to try to get over that hump of constantly having winning seasons and getting your ass bounced and sent home for in the first round. And it has not been pretty showings for the Pittsburgh Steelers over the last 5 years or so in the playoffs, going against just about everybody in the AFC and leaning on guys like Mason Rudolph, leaning on guys like Russell Wilson. It has not been good enough. The question is that we got to sit there and ask ourselves, though, is the offensive line ready? You got a young offensive line who's going into now another year under Arthur Smith, the offensive coordinator. You want to see if Aaron Rodgers can come in along with that young offensive line and get this thing rolling in the right direction. You did suffer losses to a guy like Najee Harris, but you did try to replace Najee Harris with a guy like Caleb Johnson out of Iowa, who I think is solid. Not a big fan, but hey, that was his collegiate career. He could absolutely come in and in the NFL and have an impact as long as these guys are putting their best players in the best position to go out there and win. But it is an outstanding thing for my man's TJ Watt to go out there and get this money like this, simply because, hey, you had to do it. You ain't had no choice but to do it. You had no choice but to give my man's this type of money to ensure that he's good for the foreseeable future, bro. That's it. That's really it. You talking about guys like Myles Garrett, who got that money. If y'all looking at all the money, TJ Watt is the highest paid. Then you got non-quarterback players like Jamar Chase getting 40 mil, Myles Garrett getting 40 mil, Danielle Hunter. It's a little bit of an overpay for me. I ain't gonna lie to you, but at 35 million, hey, that's what they giving them. Max Crosby making 35, Justin Jefferson making 35, Nick Bosa making 34. CeeDee Lamb is making $34 million a year. These are non-quarterbacks making big money. And all these guys, these are hell of a players on this list. You can't be mad at that. This is a bunch of good players on this list. It's going to be interesting because, the Pittsburgh Steelers, their schedule is going to be a tough one. He talking about going against quarterbacks this upcoming season. Aaron Rodgers will see his former team in the Jets, who know all his tendencies, at least the players, and you're going to see how well they're going to get coached up by Aaron Glenn, who pretty much said to hell with Aaron Rodgers. So game 1 of the NFL season for the Pittsburgh Steelers will be a game to watch, simply because it's the old team that Aaron Rodgers was on. And Aaron Rodgers, they flew him out to New York, sat down with Aaron Glenn, and Aaron Glenn said to hell with him. So it's going to be interesting to see that. Then you got him going against Lamar Jackson. Then you got him going against quarterbacks like Joe Burrow. Josh Allen is on the schedule, going against a young Chicago team with Caleb Williams back there, making a return to Green Bay. It's going to be a hell of a season for these Pittsburgh Steelers, and it's going to be a bunch of games on their schedule that you are going to absolutely want to watch. And with all that money being dished out to all these other players, we got to keep our eyes in focus to see what's going on with Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons. Hey, Jerry, I ain't going to lie to you, Jerry. You keep costing yourself money. That's all I'm saying. If you would have did this at the start of the offseason, you could have got Micah Parsons for about $30 to $35 million. Probably less. But Max Crosby got paid. Myles Garrett got paid. Jamar Chase got paid. And now TJ Watt got paid. Micah Parsons is only about 26, 27 years old. So you're going to have to cough up some money. You're going to have to cough up some money, and we're going to have to see what's to that for real. Because Micah Parsons, look, hell of a pass rusher. You're definitely going to have to give up that money. But this is what Jerry Jones does down there in Dallas. We can't expect nothing else. What else did we expect? Jerry Jones wants his name and his franchise to constantly be in the conversations around the NFL, even though that it hasn't gotten them nowhere. Nowhere. Dak Prescott is the highest paid quarterback, for God's sake, because you waited too long. Like, let's keep it a real. And Dak not bad, but he just ain't highest paid quarterback in the league worthy. That's just me. If we keeping it a buck. But hey, TJ Watt set that precedent and raised that level again. Now, Jerry Jones, do you go out there and give Micah Parsons 42? Because Micah Parsons, he want him a deal. And he already know. He just recently did an interview and he was like, man, this is what Jerry Jones does. This is what we do. You know what I'm saying? He wait to the last minute. He said that he pretty much know he going to get paid. And he about to get top dollar for it. And the only thing that's going to keep happening to the Dallas Cowboys, because they keep doing business without having any type of foresight, is highly paid players and not a lot of results. That's just my opinion. We got to call it how we see it. The all the money that's been dished out to some of these top players on the Dallas Cowboys, you have not received any benefits of that. So, hey, TJ Watt just pushed that envelope higher for my man's Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons, congratulations. I'm giving you an early congratulations, Micah Parsons, because you about to get paid, brother. You about to get paid. Because Jerry Jones, he waiting. He said we're going to give you the money. You know he's going to give you the money. He ain't going to try to, and I don't think he's going to try to shortchange you one bit. That's just my personal opinion. But hey, just wanted to come out here, give y'all this breaking news, man. TJ Watt, now the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL. Well-deserved for a man like TJ Watt. TJ Watt deserves that type of money. He's absolutely one of those guys that you want to get that money to. And hey, it's good for him. Now, another question I got to ask, though, is what's in store for my man Trey Henderson? Because you ain't getting $41 million, but where is the medium for the Cincinnati Bengals and Trey Henderson? I know there was some reports and some rumors he want 30 mil. Hey, Cincinnati, 30 mil look like a steal right now. 30 mil look like a steal right now. Not even gonna hold you. And you still got issues with your first pick in this draft with Shamar Stewart not being signed and going out there in Texas A&M and kicking it down there with the guys. So they got to figure out some stuff in Cincinnati, and I'm interested and thirsty to see how much money, if any money, goes to Trey Hendrickson. Because I've been saying it. If you don't want to pay him, you should have been traded him. You already missed the mark to trade Trey Hendrickson. Now you just in a tough situation to where it's nip and tuck, and you got to figure out how you gonna maneuver around this whole entire thing. Shit, boy, y'all know. Go ahead and put Joe Burrow out there with a bad defense again, and watch how y'all thought he was ticked off after a victory after getting 8 pre-snap penalties. Watch how ticked off he be, and watch some of those comments that's gonna come out towards that organization if Joe Burrow come out there and drop 35, but the opposing team drop 37 because the defense can't stop nobody. It's going to be a hell of a season. That's one thing we love about the NFL. It is always filled with a bunch of questions for a lot of different teams, because one bad thing that can happen from the front office, from some player on there, can throw off the team's rhythm, can throw off the team chemistry, and it can get ugly real fast for a whole entire team full of 53 men. They got to come together for one ultimate goal. So, hey, y'all done let TJ Watt push that market up. If Trey Henderson want to get that 30, you should have been gave it to him. Now is a good time to give it to him. Now, if he still want to go for the 30, I ain't even going to hold you. Now will be a great time to give Trey Henderson his 30, because it'll look like a steal compared to the $41 million that the Steelers just gave TJ Watt. And he does deserve that money. Y'all heard the records. 1-11 when TJ Watt doesn't play for the Pittsburgh Steelers on a Sunday, Saturday, whatever day they playing. 1-11. When he plays, 77-44. Something like that. But you get the point. You get the point. But hey, that is it for me, y'all. Just bringing y'all that breaking news. Make sure y'all stay locked in and stay tuned in to the content that's going to be pushing out. We got all this football activity about to kick up, and me and Steve-O, we working OT. So y'all make sure y'all locked in, loaded, and ready to talk this football. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, man. Thank y'all so much for tuning in into another episode. Hey, I'm going to catch y'all on the next one for sure.
This has been a presentation